In the manual that I prepared, which we call Fundamental Concepts in Accounting and Income Taxes, there is a section on fundamental definitions. And the fundamental definitions that are included are these terms: asset, liability, revenue, expense, gains, losses, income, investments by owners, and distribution to owners. I included those because that pretty much covers all the elements that you see in what we call the accounting equation. Assets equals liabilities plus equity. Revenue, or profit rather, equals revenue minus expenses. So these are all the key elements of those equations. Now, I call it fundamental definitions because these definitions that we have are authoritative. They come from the FASB, or if you will, Financial Accounting Standards Board, fundamental concept statements. The challenge that you have with these items is that we talked also about debits increasing assets and increasing expenses and increasing losses, and we talked about the effect of credits and what they do to assets and all these things. So you want to think about this. Assets are increased with debits. Also, expenses are increased with debits. Revenues are decreased with debits. But let's go back to the expenses. The assets are increased with debits. The expenses are increased with debits. Losses are increased with debits. Not too long ago, I had occasion to be engaged as an expert witness in a case involving lost profits. And the people who were suing, I was working on part of the defense. The people who were suing, they had incurred several years, 10 years of losses. And now that what happened, they were a union. Another union came in and managed to take away all their members. So now the old union was suing for lost income, lost profit, and they said that these losses that they incurred were actually an investment in their future. So they wanted to recoup the investment they made. Well, the losses totaled in excess of $1 million. And remember, assets are increased with debits, expenses and losses are increased with debits. And a judge, when they're trying to make a decision, a judge likes to have authoritative support for his position, and most judges do not have a financial background. So I turn to these fundamental concepts, these fundamental definitions rather, that were supported by the Financial Accounting Standards Board. And when you read the definition of an asset and you read the definition of a loss, it was clear that what they now wanted to say was an investment in their future was not. It was, in fact, a loss that they were not able to recoup. So it's very important, especially in forensics accounting, that you hopefully come up with some authoritative support for the benefit of the judge, the jury if there is one, the attorneys that on both sides, so that they can be educated. Now, the thing about the definitions is that you have to read, they're short, but almost every word is powerful, and you really have to think about it. For example, the first 4 words in the definition of an asset are this: probable future economic benefits. Probable future economic benefits. Probable. Not certain, but probable. Now, some things are certain. others are probable. So that's why you record an account receivable. You're probably going to collect it, but you might not. But if you're using accrual-based accounting, you need to recognize it. Future. So we're talking about future economic benefits. In other words, we have this thing we're calling an asset. It's a piece of equipment. It's going to help us generate revenues and profits in the future. Okay? So it's the probable future and then economic benefits. So you then have to decide, how do you define economic benefits? Well, in most cases, economic benefits are cash coming in the door. That's what we all want, cash coming in the door. So you combine like accrual accounting with this definition, and I think it works. Probable, not certain. Future, economic benefits, cash flow. So these definitions, again, are relatively brief, but every word in them is very powerful. And if you want to record a transaction properly as an asset as opposed to a loss, you better be familiar with all of these definitions and every single word in it. Thank you.